The reason why you can't follow instructions is because you wasn't disciplined as a child. See, there's 2 points in life where you learn discipline. One, when you're young, and another, when you're adult. See, when you're out here living reckless, you didn't have nobody putting their foot up your ass for disrespect. What happens? You find yourself in a very strange situation. Because you did not learn consequences for your action at a young age, you have to learn that as an adult. And where do you learn that? You learn it in the pen. It's funny how people call it the pen, playpen. The pen, playpen. See, it is as though the judicial system, the prison system, is a form of parenting. Because the thing is, you didn't learn discipline as a child. You have to learn it as an adult. That's why they put you in your playpen. You got the bars and everything. You're an adult that acts as if you were a child. So now you have to learn it that way. Because there's no other way. You know what I'm saying? When you're not a child, you're an adult. So they have to treat you as a child. Robbing, killing, drilling, stealing. That's just taking it to the extreme. But now let's go into discipline when it comes to spiritual work. You people are doing love work. You're putting your hands in your man's face. You're cursing him out. You're saying what you want without a care in the world. You don't care what his feelings are. So now it's as though this is how you used to live in your life. And then you wonder why things don't work for you. Because the thing is, you become a conflict of interest in your own work. Sometimes self-examination is the solution to your problem. Because some people are like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Most people have not took time out to examine themselves, to say, what is it that I'm doing? Sometimes you got to take a time out and reflect. Why am I doing the things that I'm doing? Why? Why am I doing the things that I'm doing? Why is my life so fucked up? Why can't I keep a job? Why is that everywhere I go, I'm in constant conflict with people? Sometimes you got to, examine your life. Why is it, some people are like, well, I can't find love. Why is it that you can't find love? Why? Because your reckless ass fucking acts and attitude. The reckless shit that you fucking do. You just speak shit, you do shit without thinking about the consequences. Listen, rearing a child is very important because everything begins at a child's, at the age. Well, let's just say everything begins. What a person becomes is pretty much determined by how they came up. And the best example is to watch this thing on YouTube called White Belly or something like that, Underbelly or something like that. He brings on a list of people, that are found on Skid Row in California. And it basically, he shows you different people and what the commonality that all of his guests have on his show. That talk about the problems in their life, how they became drug addicts and prostitutes and things of that nature. They all talk about their childhood. Their childhood. And this is where I feel like this video is really a dedication to Father's Day. Is that everything begins at childhood. How a child is treated as a child determines what they'll become in the future. Most of the time. Not to say that there isn't exceptions to the rule. See, we've got a lot of things. We got the Mother's Day, but we've never got Father's Day. A Father's Day perspective on child rearing. Mama always, we always hear mama, 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 mama. Listen, let me tell you something. Majority of the women I date have kids nowadays. This is not no, oh, you dating, your early 20s and, you got the, no, when you're pushing 40, whatsoever you're saying, and, whatever, you're dating women in their 30s, most of these women have kids. If you're going to date, you're going to date women with kids. So for me, it's like this. Me playing the role of a stepdaddy at times, whatsoever, stepfather at times, I learned a lot about kids. And sometimes I learned, and one thing I learned is that, the mama is always going to be very gentle and let's just say, sympathetic. Where the father comes in, the father doesn't play that game. He doesn't play that. The child can run around the mama's house and bust everything up, destroy everything whatsoever. And when the father says, stop, sit down, they'll listen to the father because they know the father ain't no game. He ain't playing no games. He's no joke. And this is where we find the problems today, is that we don't have that disciplinary act or that disciplinary principle in life anymore. Especially in the black community. I wouldn't say in life anymore, let's just say pertaining to human causes. Because there's definitely that's playing out in nature with animals and things of that nature. But let's to keep it human on a human level, is that we lack that, especially in the black community. This is why there's so much drilling, killing going on. People don't respect consequences. Because we didn't learn at an early age what the consequences was for our actions, or constantly have that ingrained into us. We go out into the world and do fuck shit. We grew up not thinking about the consequences. The reason why a lot of crimes happen is because people do not think about the consequences. If everybody was, here it goes. If everybody did a crime and thought about getting caught and, whether it's 20 years, 25 years to life, if everybody thought about that, you know what I'm saying? Or they made rap music today where people talk about it, okay, we're going to go drill this nigga, we're going to kill this nigga, we're going to rob this nigga, and then we're going to do 30 to 40 years behind bars. Do you think people would really be doing this shit in the streets? If rappers would take the responsibility of making their rap song, and then at the end, you start rapping about, yeah, we're going to be real niggas, and we're going to do 30 to 40 something years behind bars after we do this drilling. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was not sell. And this is why they constantly promote the fuckery without the consequence of actions in the music. So when you find this in the music today, drilling to kill, they don't put the reality of what happens after you do that. Look at Rondo number 9. Look at, I believe, C-Day or something like that. They're in prison right now. But they was putting music out there about drill music and this and that. And now they're sitting behind bars. And now they're getting older. When there's kids, they did this stuff when there's kids. They did when they're shorties. Now they're getting older. I think they got 40-something years, 50-something years or something like that. They're getting older behind bars. And now they get older. Their mind hasn't even developed. Their mind wasn't even developed when they did that crime. They did it as a youngster. And now they're older. Their mind is developing. And now they're like, oh my God. And the reality's settling in. See, if they had a male figure in their life at a young age, and they was taught the consequences, to reflect on consequences before they do things, they wouldn't have been there. So I say this to customers. You got to think before you act. You have to think before you act. When you're doing spiritual work, whatsoever, especially when it comes to work, whether it's love work, you know what I'm saying? Don't do spiteful shit. Think about shit before you even do it. You're going to put your hands in somebody's face, or you're going to start yelling at them, you're going to start cursing at them and stuff like that. Think about what you're doing. You got work in line, and you're cursing and yelling at the person. You're making the person angry, and that's the anger. Like I said before, anger impedes the process of reasoning. Anger basically slows down the work that you're doing. If you're constantly making them mad, that person's constantly in that spirit of hatred. And now you try to do love work, and you're putting more obstacles in front of your work. You get on work, now you're going to argue with the boss. You're going to go back and forth with the boss. And then you're saying, like, why? The Spirit's providing you with an opportunity. Here you go, doing all this fuck shit. So listen, I'm not going to hold you. This is about, I think, 10 minutes going on in this video. I hope this video was very informative. It's Father's Day treat. Thank you guys for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. I'm out.